Yo guys, what is up? Kingflipper and welcome to another Marquee matchup predictions, guys. As you know, if you've been watching me, you know I do my Marquee matchup predictions. You know about my last week Marquee matchup predictions. I did do quite a lot of team guessing, but I did pick all 4 of the major leagues. I did get them right. I don't think many people would have put too much in for profit-wise because of how many I picked. But as long as you didn't spend an arm and a leg on players, then you're alright. If you bought Real Madrid players as well, you were laughing, especially straight away, because they're extortionate as anything. They did come down in price eventually, but you know I always do the prices straight away. So, yeah, I was quite happy I got all 4 of the predictions right. I know, as I said, I did a lot more. The Marquee matchup predictions is probably a little bit easier this week. There's especially a few that I reckon will definitely drop in there. And then there's a few that I'm not sure about. There may be a few more as well as this, but I have spent still quite a bit of a while in and ahhing between which ones I'll pick. But I mean, if you guys find any more, let me know. So yeah, I'm gonna go through them. As you know, I go from most likely to least likely. So we'll start off with the most likely, guys. To be honest, we all know what it's going to be. It's going to be the FA Cup final. I'm not being funny. If this is not in Marquee matchups, something is wrong. Because the FA Cup final is literally the biggest cup, not the biggest domestic cup in the world. I think people will agree with me. I hope they do. And especially as it's going to be Arsenal versus Chelsea. I mean, come on, Arsenal versus Chelsea. It's basically a derby as well. And they're playing at Wembley. Come on, guys. This has got to be the one. So, requirements obviously will be pretty much the same as a BPL requirement. It's going to be 81 rated. It's going to be all rares and it's going to be all gold. It's going to be BPL, obviously, I reckon. I'm not sure about that one, but I reckon it'll be BPL based again. So, these are the players I'd definitely invest in Arsenal. Well, Arsenal and Chelsea. These are the ones I'd really invest in because you are pretty much going to make profit. I wouldn't say loads, but you are probably going to make profit. So I'd go with Welbeck or Perez, especially Welbeck is more common than Perez for the price. They're still in at 1.3 by now at the time. They may come down, they may go up, I'm not sure. So definitely Arsenal, I'd go for the striker. Chelsea for a K, you can pick up Moses at right wing back, which 78 rated is a little bit lower than 81 rated, but it is decent. You could spend more, obviously, on a higher rated. I mean, Musonda's actually going for about the same price if you want to go for a slightly lower rated of 77. If you want to invest in both of them, you can. They're much cheaper than that. There is a goalkeeper at 75 rated for Chelsea, but it's not rare. And as I know, the requirements will, as I said, all rare. So that's pretty. I'd definitely invest in players from them teams. Obviously, also make sure you have a full team ready for 81 rated. So definitely do that one because if it's not going to be 81 rated, it's going to be 80 rated. So yeah, that's easily going to be the most common one. So I reckon we'll do that. Will you come to watch me every fat man? Oh, don't come and ask me a question while I'm doing stream. Well, while I'm doing video. Second, guys, is going to be the Calcio A relegation battle. We have 2 games again with this one, which is a little bit awkward because we've got I think it's Crotone or Crotine, I don't know how it's pronounced. They're 18th, and we've got Empoli, they're 19th. Either of the teams can, if either team to win, well, if Empoli win, obviously, and Crotine lose, because they are playing Lazio, they could obviously survive. Palermo again. I mean, Palermo, as we know, we got Crotine versus Lazio and then Palermo versus Empoli. I reckon they'll go the Crotine or Crotone, I don't know how to pronounce it, versus the Lazio because Lazio are in 4th position. They can change places, Lazio and there's someone else, but they both still get Europa anyhow. Requirements wise for either game, if they predict which one, 79 rated, minimum of 4 rare players, and obviously it's going to be minimum of 7 clubs. Yeah, their requirement wise, I reckon we'll leave that one. Next, guys, is another one that I definitely invest in. Is a California Classico. They call it in the MLS. It's San Jose Earthquakes, so SA Earthquakes versus LA Galaxy. This one, I reckon they'll definitely drop it in because we haven't had an MLS for a while. It is a derby, and it is quite a big derby, to be honest. Well, I'll do requirements. Requirements, actually, I'll go first. Requirement-wise, 74 rated. Minimum of 3 goals, minimum of 3 rares, because there is quite a few goal players. There's goal players for both. Actually, no, there's no goal players for Earthquakes. But there's quite a few goal players for LA Galaxy. If you have to have a San Jose Earthquakes, you can pick up some silver players for 300, which isn't too bad. They're not exactly expensive at the moment, so I'd definitely invest in at least one. Because that's probably going to be a requirement. LA Galaxy, you're looking about 1,000 coins for a goal player. But you're talking 79 rated Dos Santos or Van Dam at 77 rate, I think. Definitely invest in getting a couple of them. I'd also invest in some higher rated ones, maybe for other teams. But I'd definitely go. I'd go any goal player for 1,000 coins, especially higher. The higher the rate, the better. Especially Dos Santos at 79 rated is great. And 1,000 coins as well, you can't complain because they're not exactly cheap LA Galaxy players. So that's another one of my investments. It's a little bit more risky than the Arsenal Chelsea one, but that's one of my investments I'll go with. Next, guys, is the Scottish Cup final. We got Celtic versus Aberdeen. This one I reckon will be in here as well. As you know, it's a final and it's quite a decent size. Well, it's quite a big final. Scottish Cup final is quite big. And then we got Celtic as well. So Celtic Aberdeen, requirements 70 rated. I don't think they're going to go too much higher with that because Aberdeen don't really have any. They don't have any goal players and the silver players are expensive. Minimum of 3 rares, minimum of 4 Scottish players. I reckon they could drop in there. Celtic players, goal players, you can pick for 500 coins, which will help your rating. Aberdeen players, you're looking at 600 coins for bronze. That's buying now. There was a couple on there for about that. You might be able to get bids at cheaper, but I think that was the striker, Aberdeen. So if you want silvers, you're looking over 1,000 coins each. So they are quite expensive, but it's up to you what you want to do. As I said, there is a few golds in that league, but there's not loads. So that's why I'm going to go 70 rated because there's quite a few silver players. So that's what I reckon will be that one. Next is a player final. We've got Blackpool versus Exeter City. So we've got League 2 player final. So as simple as it says. Requirements 65 rated. Easy 65 rated because there is a load of silvers at 65, 60, 67 rated. Minimum of 3 rares, minimum of 4 English players. I'd go with this one for this league, this final. Blackpool players and Exeter players, you can pick them up for 200 coins. You can actually pick silver players up for 200 coins if you get lucky. If not, you can spend a little bit more, but 200 coins easy for bronze players. So definitely, I wouldn't say invested loads of them, but I'd get a couple of each, which I've done. I bought a couple of each, so it's not too bad. And then last but not least is this one's a real big risk, which I don't think will be in, but it might be worth a little bit of a gamble because one of the teams actually isn't in FIFA 17 because they got promoted, but they are in the J League now because it's a new season. So it's actually Hanshin Derby. It's actually quite a big derby in the Japanese league. Is Vissel Kobe, who are actually in the game, versus Cerezo, I think it's pronounced Cerezo, Osaka. They're the team that were actually in League 2, but they got promoted. So it's not too bad. Requirements rise, I'd go 63 rated. It might be lower than that, it might be higher than that, I'm not too sure. There is quite a few silver players in the J League, so it's not too bad. Also, it would be, I'd probably say, a minimum of 7 Japanese players. Also, if they're gonna drop it, obviously you're gonna need 2 players from Vissel Kobe. So I'd definitely buy obviously a couple of players from Vissel Kobe. I don't know, if it's up to you if you want to get a full team. Most people probably have a full team of them anyhow because they don't really get rid of them. You could make some money off it. I don't think it's one of I put it in there just in case it does happen because it is a derby and it's quite a big game. We haven't had a J League game for God knows how long, so they may put it in. But yeah, that is pretty much all my predictions. As I said, there's not loads, but there is 4 that are highly likely, easily, that they could drop in there. I mean, you've got the FA Cup final, as I said. You've got the Calcio A, which is finishing, as I said, this season. Well, finishing this weekend for the season, and they're both relegated. They could get relegated. You've got that MLS derby, and obviously you've got the Scottish Cup final. So easily, them 4 could be dropped in. And as I said, you've got Blackpool versus Exeter. They could drop that in as well. And then just that last one at the end. As you know, I would be helpful if you want to put in the comments below if you think there's any other games. Hopefully I get all 4 right. I'm definitely aiming for at least 3 right. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I hope this does help. I hope the investment does work. I hope you save your coins. And obviously, if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe to my channel, guys. Keep the notifications on because I do a lot of live streamings. Obviously, I will speak to you soon. And peace. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's some more up there on my channel. And if you want to check out my Facebook and Twitter, it's over there. And also, if you want to subscribe to me, there's my subscribe button. Just click it and there we go. Hope you enjoy it.